Today's episode of the show is brought to you by my creased t-shirt. That's right, friends. If you want to have a creased t-shirt just like me, all you got to do is leave your clothes in the washing machine for at least an hour or two after they've been washed and then hang them up, and then you too can have a lovely creased shirt just like me. Hello, my friends. My name is Daniel Midson-Short, and in this week's video, I want to talk about Comparisonitis. It is a disease that is rampant in our society. I have fallen prey to it many times in my life, and I'm sure if you're watching this video, you have as well. Comparisonitis is this tendency to value ourselves by other people's standards or lives. We look at other people in a favorable way, and we look at ourselves in an unfavorable way, and we feel like we're not as far ahead, or we don't have the same skills or the same success or whatever it is in our lives as other people, and we feel bad about ourselves. Now, when you say that logically, it sounds ridiculous, but you probably have felt it many times in your life. Maybe you've been envious or jealous or resentful that someone else has success. You know, these days with social media and the internet being such a big part of our lives, it is so easy to sit back and look at other people's lives and compare yourself in a way that you feel bad about yourself. So in the rest of this video, I want to share a couple of ideas that have helped me to overcome this comparisonitis, this tendency to compare myself to other people. Things that I've learned either through mentors and people who have helped me, or maybe just my own life lessons. Things that I have learned over time, and especially as I've gotten a little bit older into my 40s, I've learned to kind of not compare myself as much to other people and to be more happy with where I am. So the first lesson that I have learned about comparison is that it is impossible. You actually can't compare yourself against another person. It is impossible because you are completely unique in your life, in who you are as a person, your natural traits, your physical makeup, your life experience, all those type of things are unique to you as they are to someone else. And even if you grew up, let's say, with a sibling or someone very close, you still have differences to them. And even if you're comparing yourself to that other person, they haven't lived the exact same life with the exact same character traits and personality and physicality as you have. So it is actually impossible to compare yourself properly to another person. Now, this might make sense logically, but emotionally, you still feel that sense of comparison. Or maybe you have someone like a parent or a peer or someone who is forcing you into this comparison with someone else. Well, that is a trap that is their problem, not yours. You don't have to take on their desire to compare you unfavorably to other people. You have to realize that you have to live by your own standards. And we're going to talk more about that. But I want to start off by just saying comparison is impossible. Remember that whenever you feel the urge to look at someone else and feel bad about your situation because you're not as far ahead as them, or not as skilled, or not as beautiful, or whatever it is, remember that comparison is actually impossible. You are unique in your own way, and they are unique in their way, and you can never actually equally compare two people to each other. The second idea that has really helped me is to look at comparison as favorable versus unfavorable. Now, we all have a tendency, if we're in the trap of comparing ourselves to others, that we will look at other people as more favorable. We'll look at people who have more money than us, or who are in better physical shape, or who have the kind of partner or the relationship that we want, or the kind of success or fame or whatever it is in our life. We will look at them in a more favorable way, and we'll say that we're not as far ahead, or we don't have what they have. What we don't tend to do is look at people who aren't where we want to be, who are in an unfavorable position to us. Now, I'm not saying this to mean that you should look down to people, but you should realize, as I've had to realize, that very often, even though yes, there are people who are in a more favorable position to you, there are also a lot of people who are in an unfavorable position and wish that they had the life that you have today. It's pretty simple when you get down to it. You have to realize that everyone has their balance. Maybe someone looks like they have a great life on the surface, or they have this great image on social media, but I guarantee under the surface there are some things that are unfavorable, and you probably wouldn't want those things if you had to take on their life entirely. So that is a very important idea that I had to learn. Am I comparing myself favorably or unfavorably? Most of the time, I am tending to look at the people who have a more favorable circumstance or situation in their life. But on the flip side, if I look at other people in my life, there's probably things that I'm doing better, or I'm succeeding more than they are in that particular area of my life, and I have a more favorable comparison if you kind of weigh it up. The reality here is that you have to realize that everything balances over time. Yes, someone may look ahead and look more favorable in certain ways, but I promise you they certainly have unfavorable parts in their life as well. Same as someone else who looks more unfavorable to you will have more favorable things in their life, if I can say the word favorable. God, it's so hard to say. Anyway, you get the point. Look at your life in that way. Look where you might have something better than someone else and something worse than someone else, and you'll find that it evens out over time. The third idea that has really helped me to overcome this comparisonitis, or this tendency to compare myself to others, is asking myself this question: am I doing my best? And the reason I've learned to ask myself that is because at the end of the day, you know deep down whether you're living your best life, whether you're putting in the right amount of effort, whether you're being the best person that you truly can be at the point of your life that you're at right now. We're not always going to be on top of our game in our life, but we do know where we should be putting in effort and the kind of life we want to be living for ourselves. If you ask yourself, am I doing my best? You can answer that question honestly without feeling any sort of sense of comparison to anyone else. If you try to live your life by other people's standards and you try to live up to what they think is the best or what you think they think is the best, very important distinction, you will find that you tend to suffer. So what I would say is, whenever you feel this tendency to compare yourself to someone else, go back to the question, am I doing my best? Am I truly putting in the effort and trying to make myself as good as I can be in my life? And if that's the case, then that is enough for now. I promise you, if you keep trying to improve yourself over time, life will dramatically improve. So ask yourself, am I doing my best? And if the answer is yes, then keep going. And if the answer is no, then maybe you need to make some improvements for yourself in your own way. And to finish this video and this idea of comparing yourself to others, I want to share an idea that I've put into other videos as well. That is that there's no right way to live your life. Most people will tend to follow the example and the lifestyle of those who are around them. But when you look at it, there is no right or wrong way to live your life. You must choose for yourself whether you are living the kind of life you want to live, in the place you want to live, doing the work you want to do, being around the type of people you want to be around, or you're just living someone else's version of reality. Very often, when we fall into the trap of letting other people tell us how to live or their right way of living, that is when comparisonitis sets in. So go back to the core of who you are and think about it. Am I living my life in the way that I want to? And realize that there is no right or wrong way to live, but you have to determine for yourself what feels right, and you will find that this sense of comparisonitis, or this tendency to compare yourself to others, will start to disappear out of your life. My friend, life is very long. It has a lot of twists and turns. There are times when you'll be down when others are up. There'll be times when you'll be up when others are down. The key here is to realize that life is a journey, and the development, the growth that you experience along the way is the reward, not the destination, not the results, not the chance to stand out and look better than someone else. At the end of the day, we are all unique. We're all human. There is no way we can compare ourselves to others. It is an illusion. So I would say to you, whenever you feel the tendency to look at other people's lives, whether it's on social media or whether it's in real life, and compare yourself in a negative way, realize that who you are is valuable. Double down on that and enjoy the journey along the way. Hopefully these ideas were valuable for you. If so, leave a like on this video and leave a comment below where you've struggled with comparisonitis in your life. I'm curious to know. And if you like what I'm doing on this channel, please consider subscribing and becoming part of our community. We'd love to have you with us. My name is Daniel Midson-Short. Thank you for watching. And as always, thank you for improving yourself.